Yo, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? Bitches, welcome back to the channel. We're here recording live from the... Yeah, I got so used to it. We are not live from the mothership. I apologize. We're not live. Oh, this is post-com. This is episode 9 of the Real Madrid career mode. And, you know, just giving you guys a look at this month of football that's coming up. And we have some big games, not to mention this one right here in the Beninging. We got against Real Sociedad. In this episode, you guys are also going to see the derby between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, the first of the save. And, you know, we're seeing the game as we had with Barcelona. If that's any indication of the type of games we're going to have with rivalry matches, derby games, you know a good game is in store against Atletico. But this is how we lined up against Real Sociedad. We had big opponents to worry about. Obviously, Real Sociedad having a real good season so far, to the point where we really, I mean, obviously in real life they're actually top of the league right now. So FIFA doing a good job of representing you know, these teams as they've come out, and they came out on fire in this one, making sure we actually understood that we had a game to come and play. You know, they came out and they tested the keeper, and obviously the danger man right there, Mikel Yasso. They got a lot of good players. Obviously, they got Isaac up there. They've got David Silva, who's still a baller. I mean, he left Man City, but the guy can still play. And they continued to put us under a little bit of pressure in this game as they continued to move the ball around and find space. Got into a good shooting position right there from David Silva. Wasn't able to put the ball into the back of the net, unfortunately for him. We were able to win the ball back, but the pressure that they were putting on us, it just kept mounting up as they eventually found their way into the box. And Alexander Isak, the man that we mentioned, the man who made a name for himself last season, and especially in the Euros, getting the ball into the back of the net. And I spoke about in the last episode, we spoke about En-Nesyri. And we're talking about, of course, Benzema is getting on. I think Benzema's about 33, 34 now. Obviously doing work for us still in this save. But at some point in this save, you know, Benzema's not going to be around for the whole save, right? We're going to have to think about a replacement. And I mentioned that I wouldn't be mad with En-Nesyri. I also wouldn't be mad with Alexander Isak. And those are two really big options. Obviously, with Real Madrid, we want to go for the biggest rising talents in the world. And honestly, Alexander Isak is one of them. We got an opportunity to get ourselves back into the game here. 53 minutes gone. 53 minutes gone, and we still hadn't really created anything in this game. We were really on the back foot, and unfortunately, Peter Crouch right there got his... I mean, you know, a lot of handballs have been given that aren't really, you know, aren't really handballs. But this one in particular, you can see why the referee pulled this over and gave a penalty. Karim Benzema stepped up, pulled us level from the spot. And the game is back on. We lost our last game, obviously, against Sevilla in the end of the last episode. So we need to come back. We need to bounce back. There's no two ways about it. It's one thing to lose a game as Real Madrid. It's another thing to lose consecutive games. You have to make sure that you're bouncing back. And that's something that is going to be huge for me in this save. When we do lose games, when we do drop points, it's going to be a massive importance of us to bounce back strong. And we gave the ball away there in a dangerous position through just a little misunderstanding, and Alexander Isak was in again, and a huge opportunity missed from the Swede as he blasted it over the bar right there. Should have done a little bit better. If he just keeps that down, I mean, obviously when you got Thibaut Courtois coming at you, you have to think about all the possible ways you could get the ball past him. I mean, maybe he tried to go over, maybe he just wanted raw power, but in the end didn't get it right. But there were more chances to come, and Thibaut Courtois continued to keep us in this game. The only chance we had up to this point was the penalty. Other than that, Real Sociedad would just, they were doing whatever they wanted. I say they're bending us over, but they're doing more than bending us over. They're spinning us around, you know, they're tapping us on the top of the head. They're just doing whatever they want. It don't make sense. Why would they tap us on the top of the head? They want to. They're doing whatever they want, and we can't resist. And even 91 minutes into the game, they continue to force saves out of Thibaut Courtois, that time with Mikel Merino. But a point out of this game, if there's any game really to highlight the difficulty and the challenge that we're having in this save, it would be this one, because we really didn't make anything in that game. as you can see from the highlights. We were able to grab ourselves a point from a penalty. Other than that, there was nothing. But we take the point. We went into the Champions League, and I was talking in the last episode about how I really don't care about where we finish in the Champions League group. We're already qualified, so I figured I would sim the last game. We got a big 4-0 win. You already know I rarely save games. Usually I only save games in that situation, or if I have to play, if we're in a situation where I have to play the same team like 3 or 4 times in a couple weeks, right? Maybe you got them in the cup, you got them in the Champions League, and you got to play them in the league. Like if I have to play the same team, then maybe sometimes I get a little bit bored of playing the same team over and over again. So situations like that is the only times I'll really sim games. I'm not really into simming. Usually y'all will see me sim most 1 or 2 games a season, most really. But that was one of the times where we simmed the game. Final Champions League game of the campaign. And like I said, I really didn't care. But we had the big one coming up now as we faced our biggest rivals, Atletico Madrid. Well, I say our biggest rivals. I don't even believe that. I said it, but I don't even really believe that. With the Barcelona, of course, but our second biggest rivals, and my over the years have Atletico Madrid. The growth of Atletico Madrid, I've just loved to see it because they really are. I mean, they won league last season again. Like they really are just up there now. They're really up there with Real Madrid and Barcelona, as far as I'm concerned. They just need to win a Champions League, and they're really there. But this was a big game. 20 minutes in, we were able to get in behind the defense as Rodrigo just slid it wide of the post right there. A big chance fell to the Brazilian, and it was again, it was really good opportunity. I tried to draw, L1R1, LBRB, nice little driven shot across the goal, but I just didn't get the right angles on it. But we came forward again, and it was Toni Kroos finding a lot of space, able to dribble past his man, which you rarely see from Toni Kroos, going on a nice run, spread it out wide, a nice ball into the box as Karim Benzema dove in for the header. And for the second game in a row, we were going to get a penalty for a handball, and it was Savic who was penalized for this one, and you can't really argue it. Clearly hit his hand. It's stopping a goal. I mean, in my eyes, that's a penalty kick. Karim Benzema for the second game in a row stepped up to take the penalty. He's gonna go to the left, and the keeper gets a big save to deny Karim Benzema. Jan Oblak, I ain't even gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say anything because it's Jan Oblak and we can't be surprised. So we move. We move. Atletico were coming forward big. Brilliantly placed header from Eder Militao as well. Sets us off on a counter-attack, and Rodrigo, brilliant slide rule pass in behind. Finds Karim Benzema, trying to make up for his penalty miss. And Jan Oblak, again, the best keeper in the world, bro. The best. Atletico, something's going on with Atletico. It's some sort of magic because they have the best keepers and the best strikers at all times, and they just keep resetting, and it's mad. But we were into added time of the first half, and Atletico Madrid lost the ball in a very, very dangerous place. It's played back to Federico Valverde, and Valverde puts us in the lead. And what a terrible time to concede a goal. Right, not even, they're past. Look, you see 1 minute of added time was supposed to be added on to that first half. We're into the second, and they give the ball away in such a dangerous position. And look, we had about 5 white shirts inside their box deep into the first half to make that happen, and we punished them. We made sure we punished them as Freddy Valverde found the back of the net beautifully. It's big goal for Valverde, and he keeps stepping up when I call on him. And he just continues to show me that the future is in good hands with him. He's already up to, I think he's like an 85 overall, and that's so crazy for him to be that good and be on the bench as well. Obviously, we have an 89 overall with Toni Kroos, and I mean, we have world-class players all around, but Valverde is definitely going to be one for the future. A lovely ball played in behind right there, and Karim Benzema has options to his right. He finds Rodrigo, and Rodrigo again for the second time has let us down with his finishing today. He gets into all the right positions, and it's just not happening for Rodrigo at the moment right now. It's just not happening. He's got a few goals here and there, And obviously, I mean, the pressure's on him with how good Vinny is performing because they're two young Brazilian wide players with huge potential. Vinny's performing, not so much for Rodrigo. And that miss could prove costly because we got ourselves a penalty in the first half at handball. Atletico Madrid got themselves a penalty for this one. And this one I feel is a little bit harsh. Maybe I'm being biased. Let me know what you guys think. Because it kind of if you actually watch it back, it kind of looks like Suarez handballed it first. They come it together, they collide, and it's crazy. But Suarez steps up to take the penalty, and there we go again. There we go. Should we move on? Should we move on? AI missed another penalty. Yeah, what's new? Fix it. EA, why? How? How? More importantly, that's what I don't get. How? How do we get to a point like this where the AI just missing mad penalties? The hell of penalties missed. It's crazy. Literally like 80-90% of the penalties AI have had in this save have been missed. But we punished them, and it is that guy again. Freddy Valverde, the Uruguayan wonder kid. Can we call him a wonder kid? He's like 23 now, 23, 24. I don't know. I'm going to call him it anyway. Wonder kid. Freddy Valverde finds himself in space, gets into that Atletico box, and shows Rodrigo, shows Zimmer how to finish. You gotta love that finish. Just smashes across the ball. Keeper doesn't light himself up in glory in any way, but you know, Jan Oblak has done bits already. He's already saved them a few times. Saved the penalty. So you can't really put too much blame on him. But Valverde is at the double. And we are 2-0 up with just 5 minutes to go. Atletico now have to force himself forward. And a nice little chip ball over the top finds Karim Benzema. And Karim Benzema doesn't make no mistake this time as he kills the game off. And look at the Bernabeu just rocking. I love the atmosphere in this game. I love it. The stadium is literally just bouncing. And the music in my headset. Oh, man. It's fun playing at home in this save, man. I'm loving it. This is hands down right now on track to be the best save I've made. And I always advise people to go back and watch. I mean, I know it's a long time ago. I know the gameplay maybe doesn't, you know. Well, I don't know the gameplay because listen, I even go back and watch it. That Leicester save that I did, that was my first ever save as well. It's kind of crazy that that just turned out to be such an iconic save on the channel. FIFA 16, I always recommend because it's great. I mean, I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but great save in this one right now. In terms of enjoyment, this is why I always compare them, because the level of enjoyment I'm having is that's where it's coming compared. Like I want to play this game all the time at the moment. Like this save is so fun. I would recommend everybody to try these settings with manual. Just create a second save on the side and practice playing on manual with these sliders and settings. It's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. But we got a big win there, winning it against Atletico Madrid. And there you get to see the Champions League draw. And we are going up against Manchester United. Cristiano Ronaldo will be coming back into town. It's going to be a big occasion. It's going to be a tough game because Man United, they ain't doing it in real life, but you take that over to a video game where it's all numbers and attributes, and you got Ronaldo and Cavani and Fernandes and Sancho, and hey, they're dangerous. Them boys is dangerous. So, big game there in the Champions League, but we have to focus on continuing doing well in La Liga. We lost our unbeaten run. We have to start over from scratch, and we've done a brilliant job so far of that, especially with that big win over Atletico Madrid. 2 tough games, Sevilla and Real Sociedad. We didn't get any. We got 1 point out of those 2. Another tough game against Atletico, but we showed that we are Real Madrid, and you can send us as many tough games as you want, but we're going to come out on top. So, I mean, we've gone from those massive games to a smaller opposition, playing Cadiz at home, or Cadiz. You know, I'm not Spanish, so, you know, I'm not out here with all the you know, I'm not out here with all that. But early on in the game, we scored what was potentially, I mean, we've scored a lot of long-range strikes. We've scored some beauties, but that was, for me, maybe the most satisfying one to score. The way I was just stroking the ball around. Again, the satisfaction level is just heightened by playing on manual, bro. The counter-attack, the speed that we counted on, the precision of every pass. For me to end up with an open goal to just tap it in. Lovely. One thing I have started doing, is actually using the pass. Like, you guys saw that I used the driven pass that one time to actually score the goal. One thing I started doing is when we're in a situation where we have just an open goal and all you need to do is just pass it in, we've started doing exactly that. Instead of using the shooting animations, we're using the passing animation. Instead of using them animations, look, you put your foot through the ball as if you're trying to score from 30 yards and beat the keeper, you know. When it's an open goal, you know, we just pass it in, just tap it, tap it. Yeah, it's one of them little things that does it for me, you know. One of them little type of tiny details, you know. You go open goal, just a nice little nonchalant, just pass into the back of the net, and you know, it's not a major detail. It's just something that you can do, again, that you can't do on assisted shooting, really. I don't think, at least. But 23 minutes in, we had ourselves the lead, and we continue to put the pressure on Cadiz. But they honestly weren't going away in this game. They continued to make it a fight, and there was a lot of chances going back and forth in this game. You see, still 27 minutes in, and all the chances were coming back and forth, and they absolutely they tried to spin me, blood. Alex, you know, Alex, blood. Alex. Whenever I see this guy, it's like, I need to do some research, because it better be Alex. It better be Alex. You better be Spanish, and it better be Alex. Better not even be no Alexandre. You know, you better not be French. I want to see that you come from Deportivo, and your name is Alex. But he pulled himself back. 56 minutes in, you see they keep coming forward at me with more chances and chances, and our chances kind of dried up a little bit, but obviously we are still the better side, the side more capable of creating. But in the end, it was a mistake from the Cadiz defenders that let Benzema get in behind. And you know, we've seen a lot of players have missed some chances that they maybe shouldn't miss, you know, in this save. Vinny, Rodrigo, Modric. Benzema's missed a couple, but you know, the majority of the time when Benzema's in this position right here, Benzema's finding the back of the net, especially when we're playing at the Bernabeu and right there. One thing as well, when with putting the settings on manual, the very first thing I noticed on manual is that you have to really hold the button down to get any type of distance on. So what I had to do is in the sliders, I've put the power bar, I don't remember what they actually call it, but the power bar slider I had to put up so that the bar fills quicker. That actually is also affecting the finishing, because obviously that means the bar fills up quicker when I shoot as well. It's not just passing. Which means, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of my shots are going top corner, and I'm not always necessarily trying to do that. But we did get a penalty right here. And, you know, the power bar doesn't really affect height of a shot in a penalty. Karim Benzema stepped up, tucked it away, done a little GOAT celebration, said, I'm the GOAT, I'm the greatest of all time, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe that. You already know where my stance is on the GOAT, you know, there's no debate. It's not Benzema. But, yeah, Benzema gets himself another one, puts a little bit of distance between us and Cadiz, and really and truthfully killed the game off. There was still time for more chances, but honestly, it was all us from then on. Cadiz put up a good fight. They didn't do enough to get a win out of this. Brilliant footwork down the left-hand side right here, and a bent effort from Eden Hazard. And it came back out for a rebound that crashed off of the post. Could have been 4 right there. Cadiz come up, trying to get something extra out the game, and maybe a mistake from Courtois right there allowed Cadiz to get in behind and get themselves a little consolation goal. Actually, obviously, nothing is going to come out of it, but Courtois did kind of dive in the... I mean, I guess he was expecting the opposition to not be able to reach it, you know? But he did, and they pulled one back. But again, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. We get all 3 points in the game that we should be getting all 3 points on and continue our good form in this episode especially. You get a quick look at the defenders of the year, defensive team of the year, if you want to say. No Real Madrid players. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Maybe Danny Carvajal could have been in there, but you know, it is what it is. And that man Karim Benzema again nominated for the Santander La Liga player of the month. A couple other good players, you know, in this now in there. But, you know, Karim Benzema's had a brilliant month of football, and I would very much expect him to get that award. And as you can see now, The January transfer window is open for business, and you're gonna see some action. The transfer window in this game, though, teams are going crazy, and I kind of love it. I love it. You see Jorginho moving to PSG for 61 million. Real Betis signed Ben Mee. And obviously now that the transfer window is open, another look at my weekly wages. Of course, if you are new to the series, you won't know we do have a wage cap. Weekly wage cannot rise over 5 million. So we're currently on 4.86. We have some room to maneuver. Keep an eye on it. I'll make sure that I'm always showing you guys when changes are made, so you guys are nice and up to date. But it's all about to kick off because transfer window is open. And as you can see, these teams jump straight in for business. And I will tell you, I'm very happy with my squad. Very satisfied with my squad. But, of course, I got my eye on some players. January, I'm not really an active member of the January market usually. So you don't expect a 200 million move for Mbappe. But, we'll be out there looking around at some players. But, final game of the episode, we were facing off against Getafe. Midfield of Valverde, Cruz, and Modric. We dropped Cruz into that holding midfield role. Casemiro stepped out. And from what I've had of Cruz in that role, I am enjoying it. I do like, he's not the biggest tackler, which is why I would probably rather play Modric in that role. Modric ain't the biggest tackler either, but Modric gets stuck in, right? He tries. He tries his best. He's no Casemiro in the tackle, but he gets stuck in at least. Cruz, not so much. But we got off to an early start, peppering the goalkeeper. Just a little bit of seasoning, a little bit of spice. Just testing his hands out, Decent efforts, but at the same time, not putting too much strain on the goalkeeper. You see, we jumped to the 71st minute because there wasn't too much going on in this game in terms of actual efforts on goal. It was a very scrappy game. Getafe gave me a hard time in this one. They defended resolutely. They held on to the ball well when they could, and they made it a tough game, and they really stretched it out into the 87th minute, and we were still unable to get onto the score sheet. And it's them coming forward in the end as they find an opportunity late into the game to give us our second defeat of the season, and they put it wide of the mark. Who knows, if that was on target, maybe Courtois would have saved it, but the least you gotta do is hit the target, baby. 88 minutes in, you get the biggest chance of the game, and you miss the target altogether. That's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, but that was where it is. In January, of course, we all know Gareth Bale's contract is coming to an end at the end of this season. I played him a couple times. I really hadn't made the decision, but at the same time, I was about 70% leaning towards not renewing his contract. He's on crazy wages. He agreed a deal for Juventus, and honestly, I think that's a bit silly on Juventus side. I don't feel like he's gonna do much for them. And you see, Benzema got himself the Player of the Month award, which is great for us. And a look at the Spanish table, right there. Valencia in 17th is a massive shock. Even Villarreal down there in mid-table in 11th is a little bit crazy to me. We dropped points against Getafe, and you can see that they are really they're having a good season right now. Let me just go and grab that so I can actually give me a second, peoples. I'm doing behind the scenes work, so I can get a look at the table myself. I'm out here doing my voiceover. I gotta be able to see what I'm doing, But okay, here we are. Top three. Atletico Madrid actually pulled themselves back into the top three. That's kind of crazy. I was not expecting that. Seeing Sevilla and Real Sociedad drop off a little bit. Let me know in the comment section if you think either of these two can actually sustain a challenge for the title, because obviously they've dropped off a little bit, but you see they have a game in hand, and they're only 3 points off of top. Well, Sevilla 3 points, Real Sociedad 4 points. So let me know in the comment section. Just put yay or nay. Will either of these sides be up there at the end of the season? Atletico Madrid have dragged themselves back in there. We obviously have a game in hand as well, and we sit 2 points off of Barcelona at the top. Make sure you guys stick around, because this season continues to be tight as hell. And this is probably, there's a lot of things that have changed in the series and in settings and stuff like that to make it more entertaining. But just the fact alone that all these teams are competing in a title race alone is enough to make it so much more entertaining. Like, even if I was beating every team 5-0, if the opposition are beating every team 5-0 too, it makes it more entertaining because you still have to continue. You have to make sure you're still winning these games. And the fact that these teams are keeping the pace, I love it. So make sure you join us for the next episode. Transfer window is open. I see you guys next time. Make sure you're there on time, or I might just kick somebody out. Peace.